Welcome to Planet Microcap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Dan Dickson. He is the CEO of Endeavor Silver Corp. It's a publicly traded company. The symbols are EXK on the NYSE and EDR on the TSX. And Endeavor Silver will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 12th through 15, 2023. For more information, please visit precioussummit.com. And with that, Dan, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Happy to be here. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Very good. It's great to have you on. It's been a few years since we've done an interview together. So we'll probably get into all the updates and everything like that. But first, for those who haven't heard the Endeavor Silver story, can you give us that quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, we're a Mexican silver mining company. We've been in Mexico now 17 years, maybe 18 years could be this year. And ultimately, we produce silver and gold. And we built our initial mine, the Guanaceví mine, that remains in operation to this day, produces about 6 million silver equivalent ounces. And in 2007, we bought the Bolañitos mine that produces the rest of our production, about 3 million silver equivalent ounces. But the big story for us now is we're developing the Terronera project, which is also in Mexico. It's just like what we do at Guanaceví and Bolañitos. It's an underground epithermal vein system. Ultimately, we've started construction this past quarter, and we're looking to get into production for Q4 2024.
Very good. All right. So like I said, last time me and you did an interview together was, I think, back in 2020. A lot has happened with the company, I would argue, since then. I mean, even go far as to say you were CFO when we talked. Now you're the CEO. So, rather than all the different news releases that have come out in the last 3-4 years, what would you say are some of the company's highlights from the last 12 months or so?
Yeah, over the last 2 years, we've actually beat guidance from a production standpoint. All that stems at Guanaceví, where we've got better grades than what we'd anticipated, what we originally drilled off. So that's some pretty big items for the year one and year two of my reign as CEO, so to speak, because moving from CFO. Then the other aspect is getting Terronera fully permitted. So we got it fully permanent, and we've actually signed a debt facility agreement with SocGen, Société Générale, and ING out of Europe for $120 million loan financing. Our balance sheet's been in great shape, so the board made the decision to start the development of Terronera that will effectively almost double our production, but most importantly, cut our cost profile in half. Over the last year, we've seen inflation really hit the mining space and our operators, and our margins have gotten squeezed. What Terronera does for us is it moves us down the cost curve and ultimately in the lowest quartile from a cash cost standpoint, and lowest decile from an all-in sustaining cost standpoint. So we've just, over the last 12 months, just been gearing up for that and making sure we have the team in place to be able to execute.
Absolutely. So on that point and building out the new facility, it's going to be called Terronera, right?
Yes, exactly.
So from what you can tell us, what's the timing from, okay, here are all the plans, we're ready to go, let's build, and now operational? Do you have a rough time frame of what that looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. Effectively for us, for Terronera, it's 2 years. But if you really look back at our original discovery, it was about 2013 when we made the main discovery at Terronera, and we've taken that through 6 different technical reports, a couple resource reports, then we did a PEA, a couple PFSs, and then a feasibility study. So you want to say it happens relatively quickly. In the mining space, unfortunately, things take quite a while. But from the standpoint of, okay, shovels in the ground to production, first pour, and ultimately commercial production, we're looking at 2 years. So Q4 2024 is when we're targeting kind of commercial production if everything goes well.
Absolutely. And so with that, from what you can tell us to close us out here today, you just talked about that's probably the main catalyst, if we're being totally honest, for the next 2 years. But is there anything else in terms of growth drivers or value catalysts that you want our audience to better understand with regard to Endeavor?
Yeah, one of the first acquisitions we did when I became CEO was the acquisition of the Terronera project. It's also in Mexico. We've defined 600 million ounces of silver there. And that was actually, a lot of the work was done by the predecessor, SSR, Silver Standard. They rationalized our portfolio because they become a gold company. We're now taking that. We bought it for 35 million in cash, 35 million in shares. We're trying to advance that for something to come on behind Terronera. So we have the 2-year build at Terronera. We want to make sure we keep our development team that we've built up over the last year and give them another project to build. and we're looking at Pizzeria from an underground standpoint. So what we do at Guanaceví, Bolañitos, and ultimately at Terronera is something we want to do at Pizzeria, just again on even a larger scale. So we can take that free cash flow from Terronera and drive that and see if we continue to grow the company at Pizzeria, which is ultimately going to get us to what we think is required 25 million ounces of silver to be considered a senior silver producer.
Very good. All right. Well, with that, Dan, where can our audience go and find more information on Endeavor Silver?
At our website, edrsilver.com. We got lots of information there, lots of information, updates on Terronera. We have a nice actually photo log of creating to see all our viewers can see what we've been doing at Terronera with visual effects. So it's great.
Very cool. All right. Well, Dan, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.